Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, HollywoodShono here, about to give you another Clash Royale video. And in this video we hit our new high record for trophies at 2,639, and wouldn't you know it, we're using the same deck that we've been doing. So as you can see by our victory log, in our last 4 games, all of them have been 3-1 or 3-0 wins. Usually I let somebody take a tower at the very end. And why is the P.E.K.K.A so much more aggressive? As you can see, the Royal Giant hit speed decreased by 0.2 seconds. That's a big deal. The stun duration on Zap, half a second less. This is a huge deal, because most people will zap with the Hog Data extra hit. In the final video, we'll get to see that example. The Princess area damage radius decreased by 25%. With my deck, this really isn't a big deal. Ice Wizard hit points decreased by 5%. I don't know if this means that P.E.K.K.A can one-shot Ice Wizards now, if they're like level 4 or whatever, but I'm not really sure. Baby Dragon hit speed increased, so that's actually really nice. At higher levels, the Baby Dragon kind of gets phased out once you get to Arena 5 or Arena 6. I find the Baby Dragon to be kind of a piece of crap, and yeah, I'm really not a fan of it. So that's really good. You see people using the log. Cast time decreased by 66%. Travel speed increased by 20%. Until this update, I've never seen the log actually used, but obviously the Golem hit and death damage increased by 5%, points increased by 1%, the P.E.K.K.A damage increased by 5%, and Archer damage increased by 2%. So a lot of my units actually got to upgrade. So we're going to share this first replay against some Chinese dude, 3-1. Now keep in mind, when you're at this point in Arena 8, you're going to be facing people generally that are higher levels. When you're not, either they beat you or you steamroll them. So we have a pretty good starting here, and here is we do have a P.E.K.K.A, we have a mini P.E.K.K.A, and we have the Wizard, which is really good against minions. So he places a Musketeer, and we place a Wizard. Or we place our P.E.K.K.A. Now the advantageous thing about this is that the mini P.E.K.K.A can trade favorably against the Knight. They can also just throw barbs on it, and they'll 2-for-1 easily. So we wait until it hits the tower. So there's the barbs. We place a P.E.K.K.A down to make sure that the Hog Rider only gets 1 hit off, and there's some garbage there. So we really can't do much here. So we place a bomber. It really doesn't do much except that, yeah, it gets picked off, but he can't deal with the right side. So we freeze that to ensure that we get the first crown. Now the mini P.E.K.K.A, in my opinion, is a much heavier card than the Knight. I think that the Knight needs to get a little bit more health or do a little bit more damage, because at 3 elixir, while the Knight can take hits, I find that the mini P.E.K.K.A is way better than a Knight. I even find that mini P.E.K.K.As do a little better against Valkyries, although Valkyries are more used for area damage, not single target. Whereas I think mini P.E.K.K.As are one of the most solid and probably overpowered single target units in the game. It basically does the same damage as a big P.E.K.K.A, and it moves like 5 times as fast. So here he's going to try the Musketeer again. Keep in mind, since we already took a tower that doesn't work as well, here we have to place barbs. We're going to place it on top of the Musketeer. We're going to place archers to reinforce. So here he places the minions. So we can arrow them down because we're not at double elixir. And there was a log, as you saw. So spear goblins are out. Down goes that. So the Musketeer is hitting on the barbs, not the P.E.K.K.A. So right here we're going to freeze. So the Musketeer is going to get killed. 2 archers are still up along with a Barbarian. He tries to hit the Knight with the P.E.K.K.A, and there's the second tower very easily. So here we can place a P.E.K.K.A in the front. We're just going to place it to block both of these units. We're going to place the bomber to do a little extra damage. Here he places a mini P.E.K.K.A. And we use archers. Archers do trade against that, and you have to arrow that down. We don't want too much damage. So there is the little minions again. Now here we basically just ignore the Hog Rider, take out the minions, and we reinforce that. But look at the Knight. Doesn't even take out a Wizard to half health. If that was a Valkyrie, that would have easily done so. The log does not even take all of them out, and there's the freeze. This match is over with. Minions doesn't matter. P.E.K.K.A is going to get a shot, and the minions cannot take out the P.E.K.K.A. First 3 crowned by HollywoodShono. Alright, so in our first of 4 replays since I went off of work, we're going to go against Abou Jad from Syrian Elite 3. So as you can see, this guy does have a Lava Hound. A lot of lose hard cards if you don't play him right. A Musketeer for 4 elixir is balanced because if you place it behind a high priority target like a giant or even a P.E.K.K.A, Musketeer can do really well. So while I think the Musketeer does get destroyed pretty easily, if it does not get destroyed easily, you do get a lot of value from it because it is one of the highest range targets in the game. So here he places that. We place the barbs in front. He places his own barbs. Now the problem with this is we can't deal with the minions. There we go. The reason we put the barbs in front of the P.E.K.K.A is so the P.E.K.K.A had health. Very important. Here's a mini P.E.K.K.A. We're going to freeze this P.E.K.K.A as soon as we hit 4. Actually, we're going to freeze that tower to ensure that we get it. He has nothing to play. I really thought he was going to fireball at this point, but he didn't. So I find this combination to be super strong. I don't know if the increase of damage from P.E.K.K.A s really matters, as I've been doing this ever since Arena 6. Or even Arena 5, for that matter. I haven't changed my deck in like 4 arenas. That's why you'll see I have a level 4 epic, level 7 rares, level 10 commons. So there's a big P.E.K.K.A. Now the dilemma we have here is the Lava Hound. It's not going to do much damage, but if you try to place archers too close, here we're just going to place them anyways because it's going to target nothing. So there's the wizard. We have to use the wizard against the minions to get rid of it. Now the wizard can hit on the musketeer. The P.E.K.K.A takes it down. Fireballs the archers, does not hit the wizard. And you just arrow them down. It doesn't do much. So now he's probably going to place a mini P.E.K.K.A on that wizard. Places barbs. That tower is in bad shape, and the wizard gets the shot on it. So now we can just place a bomber and deal with these barbs. So in the case of the Lava Hound, it did like 600 damage for 7 elixir. I really don't find that very favorable. And the Lava Pups, you use arrows to deal with them easily. That's why I have arrows in the deck. Because if you're using spotter decks, arrows are really good to clean them out quickly. If you're using Skeleton Army, and your bomber or wizard are not up, you have to free the P.E.K.K.A that way. They replace the same thing as before. Now he's got the minions. We place barbs on top of the musketeer, and there you see the archer get taken out, not the barbs. That's a really big deal. And there's one shot. We place our mini P.E.K.K.A for extra damage. So basically just ignore the Lava Hound here. It's not really going to do much of anything. We wait for him to drop something. There's the mini P.E.K.K.A. So the P.E.K.K.A is going to get killed. There's the minions. And we arrow down the minions. There's no chance he's done. 3 crowned by HollywoodShono. Alright, so in our next replay, we have a friendly matchup against Loki, our clanmate, for being a level 8 with like level 7 commons, even though he's only in Barbarian Ball. I kind of find it funny that he is a level 8. He must be a high donator, because he's only got like level 7 or 8 commons. But for what he was able to do, I think he played pretty well, even though we had higher level cards. So here we place a P.E.K.K.A in the back. And you can see by his lineup here, it really doesn't have much. He's got the Baby Dragon. Baby Dragon is a really good early game card, but I think it needs a little bit of a buff to handle the later game. Because it's just tempoed out. It is too slow. I'm glad they buffed it. P.E.K.K.A gets taken out there. The Stab Goblins get taken out. So there's the Skeleton Army. Now, you deal with them with arrows. And what are you going to do at this point? He drops Spear Goblins in the back. So he drops another Baby Dragon. The archers will distract the Baby Dragon. P.E.K.K.A stays alive, and down goes the first tower. So it's basically the same setup. You use the Splash with the P.E.K.K.A. Splash is pretty important when you're dealing with P.E.K.K.As because you need to be able to clear out a lot of stuff because a lot of people will distract with the P.E.K.K.A, and that's why Splash is super important. Yes, you can get dominated by playing a P.E.K.K.A. However, the rewards are very good if you can handle it. So we've got the Skeleton Army ready. Here we place barbs. I don't know if that's the best play. The arrows, which was actually pretty smart. We didn't have our arrows available. So these barbs are going to take out the little guys. Stab Goblins and Spear Goblins hitting on that P.E.K.K.A. Now we do have a freeze available. And we freeze right away. So there you can see the mini P.E.K.K.A is going to do some work. Is he going to get this tower? No, he does not. But it's really low. Baby Dragon hitting on the P.E.K.K.A. Thumbs up there. And I don't know why he froze the King Tower there. I think he was just trolling there. He knew he was in trouble. P.E.K.K.A did get one shot off. Now, here he throws Stab Goblins. We're going to place Bomber. We place Archers to try to distract and kill that Baby Dragon off. And there's the big P.E.K.K.A again. He places his own mini P.E.K.K.A, so we're going to have to place ours. little more favorably. There's the skeleton army. We're ready to arrow it down. And he freezes my P.E.K.K.A. Down goes the second tower. Places a lot of garbage, but the mini P.E.K.K.A, and there's the freeze spell. Bomber kills all of the goblins, and there's the 3 crown by HollywoodShono. But, again, to be fair, he did have lower level troops. I really think the freeze on the King Tower is very unnecessary, but I think he knew at that point he was done. So now in our 4th replay, we have Lemon from Maggie Ignoranti, which I just did about an hour and 10 minutes ago while I was on break at work. And here you get to see the Log, Royal Giant, Ice Wizard, Princess, Minions, level 10 Commons, and level 1 Epics. So this is a pretty even match. The problem is, after the Royal Giant, what do? Yes, you can barb P.E.K.K.As, and it does work pretty well as long as there's no splash up. So here he places the Royal Giant. Because of that, we have to place a P.E.K.K.A in the front, along with some archers that do a decent amount of damage. As you see the P.E.K.K.A going down, there's minions. Not really too worried here, and there's a bomber. So, as you can see, he really doesn't have a whole lot to play. Here he could place barbs. He places an Ice Wizard instead, so we place our barbs. So the log hits. The P.E.K.K.A might go down here, but there's so many barbs up, we just freeze. He's zapped. So at this point, he can't do anything. He can't even place minions. Down goes the first tower. So again, this deck can be pretty solid, but it's very difficult to play. I've heard comments in the past, people playing this deck, and it's like, how do you play it? Well, you kind of just get used to a troop. You have to build your deck around a card. Like, if you're playing Royal Giant, you have to build your deck around it, but you have to have cards that support it. For example, minions don't do very well against Wizards. They basically just get one shot. You place a mini P.E.K.K.A down on the Royal Giant. And you can even place an archer against the Princess. Log doesn't even hit the archer. That's kind of funny. Ice Wizard gets shot down by the Wizard. The Wizard's going to get a couple hits on this tower. 3 shots from the Wizard. That's like 600 damage just from the Wizard. Now, it really depends if we want to stop or push. We actually go right here. You don't want to try to push left because obviously you're going to get hit on by double towers a little easier. Here he places a bomber. Now, what I like to do against weird setups like this, freeze. He doesn't get a shot off, and we place our barbs. That's 8 elixir worth of stuff. We use 9. We have full health barbs. We did get a couple hits on the tower, but what are you going to do against this? Ice Wizard goes down. There's a bomber. One shot's the other bomber, so that tower's at 500 health. You place a mini P.E.K.K.A. He places a Royal Giant. We're just going to give him that tower. Tries to log the mini P.E.K.K.A. One swing. Second crown easy. We're going to place barb. The bomber hits the barb. That's really unfortunate. But one barb does catch up, and that barb does make the difference. So he places barb. Do you think he can 3 crown? No, you're done. Get out of here. So you got to bring it to the Royal Giants, and you have to learn when to 3 crown and when to sit back. That was not a time to sit back. You got to 3 crown. So in our final replay, we have Akarsh from King Brunei, who's playing kind of a cycle hog deck with poison. Alright, so at the beginning of this match, first thing he does is drop like a hog with a poison, because a lot of people drop barbs on top of the hog rider. Now this is a very interesting change here. Watch the hits on the tower. There's 1, 2. He zaps. He does not get a 3rd hit. Normally, you would get an additional swing with that 1 second zap, but since they shifted it to half a second, the zap now only hits stop a little bit. So here is a critical play here. He places the Infernal Tower, which can be a bane for P.E.K.K.A if you don't have a freeze or a zap. I personally like the freeze. The Valkyrie's going to take out that P.E.K.K.A. We place some archers, and that's very critical here, because that's going to add a little extra damage. Here he has an Ice Wizard. I'm not sure why he didn't play it. I'm really not sure why he didn't go after the Musketeers either. I think he was saving up for a push. So down goes the first crown from that archer. At this point, I think he's just setting up. So there's the hog rider. Doesn't even get a shot on that tower. So barbs do get in the poison, a little bit of value there. And we're going to place a mini P.E.K.K.A up in front. And there he places the musketeer. Pekka doesn't even acknowledge it. He's going to get some hits on that tower. Bomber gets 3 shots. So those bombers and wizards definitely doing some work on the towers. Now once you take a tower, it doesn't really matter. Here we're going to place the big P.E.K.K.A. It's going to take some damage from the musketeer, but that's okay. P.E.K.K.A. is a brute force. So down goes that musketeer. So at this point, you kind of want to just reinforce the P.E.K.K.A. There's another Inferno tower. We're going to freeze the other tower as well, so we can get rid of that Inferno. Drop the Hog Rider. Archers turn around and fire on it a little bit, but yeah, not too much. So we're going to drop some poison on the tower instead of on the barbs. And there's an Ice Wizard. So he zaps the barbs. Ice Wizard goes down. There's a mini P.E.K.K.A. coming in hot. Valkyrie comes in, and we drop archers as well. We're trying to drop garbage. We place the freeze to stop the towers from hitting on our stuff. And there is another 3 crown by HollywoodShono, 5 in a row. And now for the YouTube community, we're going to do a live attack with the same setup here as we have been dominating the last 5 games. So we have Hugo from NZEC going up against HollywoodShono. We don't have a good starter deck because we don't have the big P.E.K.K.A, so we might have to just play defensively here. What is his play going to be? We really don't have anything good to drop. So we're going to wait, and there's Stab Goblins. Let's place a Wizard.
Showtime! Fire!
So let's get a mini P.E.K.K.A out. Let's see how he reacts. Drops the Ice Wizard.
Fire!
And a Witch. So it looks like a Giant Witch deck. That does a lot of damage, so it is Giant Witch. So we're going to wait till everything crosses the river and then drop barbs on it. There we go. So Ice Wizard goes down fairly easily. Giant is going to get some hits on this tower. Let's play some archers and let's see how he reacts. If he doesn't react, we're just going to freeze all that junk. So there's a wizard. We're going to freeze it. So we're going to try to get that tower, and yes, we do. So that wizard gets taken out as well, so huge value from those barbs. So there's the Royal Giant. We're just going to place a mini P.E.K.K.A to deal with that. We're just kind of dropping stuff now. So Royal Giant goes down. That mini P.E.K.K.A pretty much gone. He has not seen our big P.E.K.K.A yet, and let's see if he actually tries to throw against the bomber. I highly doubt it. We have not seen a fireball. 2 shots from that bomber. Pretty good. So now we're going to place the P.E.K.K.A. And there's a giant. He places it on the right side. That's really good for us. So as you can see, he's trying to push the right side. And there's a musketeer. We're just going to drop barbs on it. No tower for you. We're going to reinforce with the archers. Drops a wizard in the back. I don't think so. We're just going to freeze all that. I'm going to place a bomber down. And there is the 3 crown by HollywoodShono against Hugo. 6 3 crowns in a row. Great job, and even 1 live attack there. So if you like this video from HollywoodShono getting 6 3 crown victories in a row, including 1 live attack, please give this video a like rating, comment, subscribe, share this video amongst your friends, and as a favorite, check out my other Clash Royale videos, playlist, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, which are all HollywoodShono. And everybody, please say hi to P.E.K.K.A1143, who decided to come and say hi. Have a wonderful day, kids.
www.youtube.com/HollywoodShono. Subscribe, bitches!